Alright, it is February the 25th, 1 hour after the weekly open. Let's do the market outlook and plans for the week ahead. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into things. Start off with the Bitcoin macro. As far as the higher time frame plans go, nothing's changed, just patiently waiting for things to play out. 45k still represents significant resistance, leaning towards buying the dip. The theme of this video is going to be that I'm leaning much more conservative with how I'm approaching Bitcoin this week. So that really increases the likelihood of the buy the dip plan. So the two major buy the dip plans for higher time frame are either the 48k, which is going to be the shallow dip, and then potentially if we dip further, that we're going to be looking at like 46. I really don't like the idea of 46 just because that's very much a consensus kind of play. So I think that the more shallow 48k dip is more probable because of that. But I do have to respect the fact that 46k is where the yearly VWAP is at, so it is always possible that we do a more steep pullback. But as far as I'm concerned, I am definitely leaning more towards 48k. But really, all the positioning is going to have to do with a shift in flows, because right now flows are pretty bearish the way that I'm looking at them. So yeah, I mean, as far as our time frame goes, nothing's changed from the more recent outlooks. 45k, significant resistance. A lot of ask liquidity up here from 53 to 40, or from 53 to 54. If we somehow get through that, we would be able to pretty much slingshot up towards 60k. 60k is the final resistance. If we get over 60k, then we're, at that point, all-time highs are going to be a certainty. Retail FOMO flooding in, etc., and news cycles, all that nonsense. I don't think that that's too reasonable though to bet on right now. While spreads are looking bearish and the ask liquidity is definitely quite thick, I don't really see that as super likely. So the main plan for higher time frame is basically looking for a dip towards 48k, maybe into like the mid 47s or something like that, and trying to front run everybody else's plans, right? Because I've seen a lot of 46k, 45k, 44k, all those levels I've seen a lot on Twitter. So I definitely want to lean towards front running those guys. That kind of logic has served me well. If we don't do the front run play, then actually probably what is more likely is that we dip further, which structurally doesn't really make that much sense to me. But just from a game theory point of view, trading down much lower than other people are targeting, right? If people want to target 44k, 45k or whatever, and we end up trading down that low, then we probably blow through it and trade all the way down to like 38 or something like that. Technically we could still have pretty bullish structuring if we traded down to 38, but I really don't see that as super likely. So yeah, I mean, as far as our time frame goes, that's pretty much it. Nothing significant has changed. Let's go ahead and jump into the medium time frame. We've been able to reaccept back into the range low, which is bullish. Like, that's maybe a healthy sign. So that's something to be optimistic about. But the way I'm looking at it, I slapped on an anchored VWAP for the range, so to see the midpoint. So we're right at that anchored VWAP, which is kind of pretty obviously overlapping with its high volume node. So what I kind of expect is, that we're probably going to reject from where we're at now and trade lower. If we're able to start to get above, maybe like 52 and see some sideways chop above here, then that could be a trigger to trade upwards. This is pretty much it for the medium time frame, right? TLDR, we're at pretty significant resistance on medium time frame, so I kind of expect us to get rejected here and take another stab at these local lows. If we are able to actually get through here, especially if the premiums start to return, then I would probably be looking to, chase beta at that point. For more information, check out the Paragon group with the link below, where I cover everything from how I trade to how you can develop your own style. Probably just go ahead and jump into altcoins. It's kind of weird to looking at altcoins, just because the strong alts, it's like a completely different picture than what, from a structure standpoint, than what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. So real quick on ETH, ETH looks really good, like it wants to trade up higher. So I think that, the TLDR on ETH is any kind of significant dips, right? Either if we see like a dip towards 29k or maybe like 28k, those would be pretty obvious levels to want to buy. Solana, basically following my little doodle schematic that I had pretty much perfectly to retest. So we needed to, like, if it can dip a little bit more, but we needed to start to make the yearly round upwards. I really want to see the yearly start to curve upwards. If I start to see that, that's when I'm going to get like really optimistic about Solana. That's pretty much it for the week, guys. Good luck out there, and I'll see you on the streams. Cheers.